Hi, everybody, and welcome to Tomorrow is Dead. This is season 2, episode. Oh god, there's so many. I need to. There's. We've been filming out of sequence. This is episode 7.
It is
think
an
so.
episode.
7. Yeah, does
Yeah.
that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Episode 3.
Sure.
Then we filmed the 2 special episodes, and then episode 4. So.
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
5,
So
7.
5, 6. Yeah, this is 7.
Okay. Anyway, after doing the mental gymnastics to figure out what fucking episode we're on. Hi everybody, welcome. We don't have a whole lot as far as announcements go today. It's pretty much a lot of the same stuff, so I'm just gonna run right through them and then we're just gonna get on into it. First and foremost, if you enjoy anything you see here tonight, it's very, very helpful to support us either by subscribing here or on Patreon. Or throwing bits around works too. You could do whatever you like. So please, if you feel so moved to do so, that would mean everything to us, as it allows us to keep the lights on here at Rule of Lore Studios. Allison, you good there? I didn't realize we were having a guest tonight.
I'm good.
I didn't either.
Yeah, we have a special guest appearance this evening.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Okay, it's been working. Bring them
Other
back.
than that, if you are watching this on Twitch, it's probably live, which means that in a couple of days it'll be Ramblemancy. Because this is pre-recorded, I don't know what we're talking about yet, but you should go check it out, 6 p.m. Pacific time, right here on this very channel. You don't even have to go anywhere. Although I do recommend that in between now and then you get up and like move around, because that's not good for you.
Yeah, please sometime between Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific and Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, do
Yeah,
leave
please
your
do
chair.
move. Yeah, that's
Go
or
and
at the
touch,
very least,
go touch the ground.
at the very least, move
It's
away
under
from the
snow.
screen for a little while in between. You know, at the very least.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Do some squats.
yeah, do some squats. Never mind. Anyway, we appreciate your support in any capacity, particularly since this has been a particularly hard year for Rule of Lore. Any support means basically everything to us, so thank you. I am unsure of the timing, but I think this episode, or was it last episode, we will just have been back from a break. I don't know. Regardless, it's hard to keep the scheduling in my head, this whole time shenanigans. But welcome, if not, welcome back. I don't have a whole lot more. I just realized that I thought there was more than this, but that this is it, really.
No, that's pretty much it. Happy Halloween, everyone. We are, in fact, very thematically filming today's episode on Halloween.
It's
so
true. It's true.
from the
Um,
past.
Happy
the
Halloween,
past.
probably in December, January. I don't know.
Theoretically, this is the episode we should probably be telling people about, like when we're going on our like holiday break. But
Oh,
If you want to hear about that, come to Ramblemancy.
that's true. If you want to hear about that, come to
Yeah.
Ramblemancy, because Ramblemancy will be live.
Follow.
Yeah. If you
Or
want to
look,
know
look in the
anything,
chat.
Yeah.
Future us problem, but you're hearing about it now.
yeah, exactly. It's bizarre having tomorrow's responsibilities today and yet
Yeah.
being unable to fulfill them because
No,
it's
this
today.
is too stressful.
Indeed.
This is
Mhm.
this is escapism. Don't give us real life anxieties here.
Hey, anyway,
Escapism anxiety.
I'd much rather pretend I'm in a zombie apocalypse.
You're right. Let's escape into the calming hellscape of the zombie apocalypse.
Beautiful.
What's
There
worse
it
is
is.
that's not even really an ironic statement anymore. So anyway, moving on.
Enough of that.
Into the
That's
title
Halloween.
sequence we go.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump on into our title sequence. We'll be right back. welcome back. When we left off, the crew was sort of shockingly reunited with their once presumed dead friend Kit. It was a perfectly smooth reunion where nothing bad happened and everything was great. Just kidding. It was a disaster. Kit retreated off into the woods and had a small panic about it.
Just a small one.
Just a small one. And then after some time sort of trying to keep their relationship sort of unknown for the time being in front of Kit's companions, they came to an accord with the group that Kit was a part of, deciding to work together to clear the bunker of the dead for the benefit of everyone to share over the coming harsh winter. In that process, there were a few moments of explanations exchanged between the group, tense though they were. During all of this, Maisel's mental state continued to deteriorate as a result of all of this, and it was truly a worrying thing, particularly for Casey, who was especially tuned in to all of that. But ultimately, Kit came clean about her prior association with the crew to the leader of the group, whose name is written down somewhere in a document that I failed to open. Does anybody have that bit on hand?
I was like, wait, where are my notes? Hold on.
Is it James? I feel like it's James.
James.
It's James. Yeah.
I think it's James. James
I think so
seems
too.
right.
Yeah.
It's in my other notebook that I don't have here, but
Cool.
Yes, it's James.
That's what I thought. Okay. But yeah, Kit came clean, and James basically saying like, look, I don't really care who you are or what you're trying to hide, but like, all I care is that, you know, we do what we set out to do. And they had a bit of a no, I wouldn't call it a heart-to-heart exactly, but it was a little bit of a deeper dive than I think even Kit intended to go into the emotionality of the whole situation. But yeah, shortly after that, enough kind of tension was released that the group could begin planning their operation for clearing the bunker, and projects were undertaken, such as opening the electronic lock on the bunker, which had no power coming to it, which spelled a future problem of potentially needing to restart the power in the bunker, but that's a problem for future them, as well as forming any kinds of barricades and things like that for sort of funneling the dead out so that they wouldn't have to take them as a whole horde, and all that good stuff. As well as, unless I'm much mistaken, I feel like there was also something about kind of reinforcing the campsite, if I remember correctly. Did that happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We moved the bus so that it
Yeah.
was
Right.
more in front, and we were going to try to use it as a vantage point to control the flow of zombies coming out, I think.
I'm not sure because the campsite
No.
is about a mile
No?
away. The campsite is about a
No,
mile away from the bunker.
The bus was just like a shield for the campsite, just in
Oh,
case.
for the campsite. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm not good
I
at
think we were
geography.
going to use the picnic tables to do that, though.
Yeah, we're using the picnic
Yes,
handles as
yeah, those were
barricades.
being taken apart and turned into like mobile barriers that could be used to funnel the dead. I think that's more or less where we left off, with you guys having a plan, and beginning to enact that plan. So, but I believe before we start that, do we have a dearly departed monologue? I feel like we do.
Yep.
Oh.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Should I
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, we're still here. Every day that I can say that feels like a miracle that could be snatched away at any moment. There was a time you'd tell me to stop being so pessimistic, that everything would be okay. I wish I could hear you say that now. Zeke is growing more and more every day. I can't believe he's already 13. He should be getting ready for high school soon. But instead, he's learning how to throw grenades and build fortifications. I'm still proud of him, though. And I think he would be, too. He's learning so much. I just hope it's the right things. I try to imagine what you would want him to learn about life, about the world, things he should be learning in school, the classes I used to hate, but now I'd give anything to go back. It's hard to imagine what that would have been like. And I guess there's hardly a point in daydreaming about it when it will never exist. Not now. This is the world now. This is the world Zeke is growing up in. The world we're all growing up in. The milestones and memories are different, and things could change any minute. 1 minute, we're fighting for our lives to escape a camp full of maniacs with guns. The next, we're clearing out a death cult bunker in a forest that would be a lot more beautiful if it wasn't full of zombies. Zombies and ghosts. Well, one ghost in particular. I never thought someone could come back from the dead. But here she is. As alive as any of the rest of us. I still can't believe it. I don't know if she really believes it either. I have so many questions, and so much anger, relief, guilt. I don't even know anymore. I don't know why she would try to run from us, or what happened to her. But I guess I should just be happy she's still running. Hopefully with us this time. I'm not gonna lie. If she was able to come back, part of me wonders if it's safe to hope that maybe you and Joey could come walking out of the woods one day too. Look at that. I still have some hope after all. Thanks for listening, as always. I love you, Mom.
All right. So, we will pull in right as I believe, unless I'm much mistaken, it was going to take you about 4 days total to accomplish all of your projects. So, if I'm pulling up the calendar really quick. So, oh yeah, that's right. The calendar app has been having a hard time lately. Okay, maybe I will not be doing that. But I believe what I was planning on doing was, unless anybody had specific things that they wanted to do, I might just jump to the day of. But feel free to let me know if there's anything that you guys want to do before then.
I think I was still trying to work with Zeke.
Yes.
Do a little bit of training. He could learn some other things. I don't know if enough of that will have been happening retroactively for that to make a difference for his stats.
I think what we said, and I think that might have been something that we marked somewhere, is that Zeke would be considered trained in something, but I
not
don't
expert
remember what.
or anything like that.
Right,
I think it had to be something I was good at.
Yes,
and
it
I
does.
think we were looking at ranged combat for him because he was using grenades, maybe like a
I do recall that. Yes.
slingshot. I almost forgot what that was called for a second.
Yeah, it was. I know. As per the requirements, it's something that you have to have at least 2+ in order to teach him. So, like, yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I do believe it was ranged combat.
I think it was ranged combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, then, yeah. Actually, you know what? I like the idea that, so it's we'll say Gabby and Shaw and Zeke are just sort of like out in kind of like an open, like a little meadow not too far away from the campsite. Like still, like you can see it even though it's like through some trees, and you can kind of hear the sound of people working on building barriers and that kind of stuff. Shaw looks down at Zeke and goes, "Okay, so remember what your sister taught you? Just aim down the sight, breathe, and then exhale as you squeeze the trigger. Don't pull it." And Zeke just sort of follows the instructions and fires. You see as he, I'm gonna say it's probably like the classic. It's an empty can, you know, like an empty like can of beans or something. You can see the can of beans like jumps as he fires it, where as he basically clips the side of it. Doesn't quite hit it dead on, but you can see as he clips the side of it.
Good enough for a zombie skull.
Zeke grins. He goes, "You see that? I hit it."
Yeah, you did, buddy. And I give him a big hug.
Mm-hmm.
Pick him up.
Yeah.
He's
sort of like-
13, but he's probably almost my height now, which annoys
Yeah.
me sometimes. So I want to pick him up to remind him who the older sibling is.
Classic. Yep. And Shaw kind of has his little sort of like side, like kind of like slightly lopsided grin. He's like, "Not bad, not bad." Says, "You're coming along pretty quick." Zeke says, "Thanks." Yeah. All right. I gotta get back. So, you guys want to finish up here, or are you coming back with me?
How you feeling, Zeke? You
Kinda-
want to go a couple more
You can s-
shots, or
You can see as he like looks at the the can targets, and then like looks back at the camp, and just kind of, you can see that he's sort of like torn.
give me one more?
Goes, "Okay,
Really get it this time. One more.
all right. I'm actually gonna roll for him this time." All right. With that, he aims carefully, fires, and this time the can just like disappears as he hits it dead on.
Yeah.
He has just the biggest grin on his face as he looks very proud of himself. And
Hell yeah, brother.
literally,
yeah, brother.
he kind of looks at you, Gabby, and says, "Maybe now I can help with runs and stuff like that."
Let's start with defense mission, right? First quest, defend the camp. Then we'll talk about upgrades later.
Okay. Shaw says, "Hey, don't be too eager to go out there just yet. Trust me, there'll come a day when you'll wish that all you had to do was sit back at the camp and defend." With that, you kind of all head back to the camp, where you can see the like the handheld kind of like barriers are in the process of being completed as so who, if I remember, who was mostly in charge? Casey, were you the one mostly in charge of the barriers?
Yes, Casey, I think, has been more or less running herself ragged the last several days, trying to forget some of the things that she read by just focusing on the defenses. And so I think, like, if she's awake, she's helping people put together like the barricades and make, I think, arrows is what we were making.
Right.
You were making spears.
Spears.
We're making
Yeah,
spears,
that's what
I
it
think.
was.
They're both pointy things.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are spears if not large arrows?
Not wrong. I think. Wait, no, she's got a point.
Not a line. He's right.
So, Yeah, basically, as you arrive back in camp, Casey is sort of putting overseeing the finishing touches on the spears and the barricades, as basically just like your Demian, who is much recovered and has, even though he has no doesn't have the technical expertise to help you, has basically been just an extra set of hands while he's been recovering. And he just says, "This one is the handle on this one is a little loose. You might want to try to get that a little tightened. Otherwise, this could have an unfortunate accident in the worst possible time."
Yeah, let me take a look. Normally, this is like LARP camp or something. I wouldn't be too worried about it. A little more high stakes. Should I make a tech roll about that?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and give me a tech roll.
These better not be covered in foam, man.
Is that an in-character?
Sure.
Cool,
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure, we LARP. We know LARP.
Yeah. Listen.
Gabby would probably enjoy LARP.
Absolutely.
I think Casey
Weapons
Casey registers that comment and does not have the bandwidth to reply.
All right. What you
Okay.
got?
I have 2 successes.
Nice. All right. Yeah, you're able to quickly kind of tighten down the handle a little bit. On this particular one, it's easier because this one is not just sort of random nails and whatever assortment. This is bolts that were salvaged from the picnic tables that you were able to just sort of tighten a little bit, and it's not that big of a deal. And you're able to get it nice and tight. It's probably not going to hold up to long term, but you really don't need it to.
That should last for today. And frankly, if that's all the longer that it lasts, that's all the more we need it for.
Demian
Ideally,
yeah.
there's something... Ideally, there's better shit in there, dude.
Demian smiles. He says, "It lasts for today. Then it's good. Not unlike us."
That's deep, man. You and Dr. Castle should talk more.
He says, "Oh no, that man can think circles around me. That's I'd be out of my depth in that one." Trust me, street philosophy is not quite up to the task of more formal areas of study.
See, and that's why I think they would love, at the very least, talking to you. But
maybe once we are safe, there's going to be very little else to do during the winter once we're inside. So maybe we'll start a philosophy club or something.
Street philosophy sounds sick, though.
I'd read that book. I wish that had been assigned coursework. I wish that I'd had the coursework to begin with. But if that was the assigned coursework, I feel like philosophy would be a lot more popular.
Maybe. Demian says, he kind of you can see as he winces a little bit. He says, "Okay, I think I have outdone myself for today. It's time to go and rest again."
Yeah, go lay down, man.
Good
job.
He stands up, and you can see his leg. Clearly, he's feeling a lot better, but you can see as he's sort of still favoring it a little bit as he steps away. You can see James not too far away, who's kind of gives you the signal that pretty soon he waves over and he goes, "We're heading out in about 20," and kind of goes back.
Okay. Casey's gonna just begin bundling up all of the improvised weapons that they have made, and getting those ready to haul out.
Okay. Let's see. Where would Frankie be during all of this? During the prep day of, yeah.
Thought he was. What would he be? Well, he was helping with the battery, pulling the battery from the truck, but the actual day of invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's doing other things too. think if there's nothing that's pulling him, like a task he doesn't have to do, per se, he's going to go look for Kit.
Okay. Kit, where would you be day of?
I think I'm out near the bunker. I think I'm kind of like patrolling, just kind of casing the area, mentally preparing.
Okay. So Frankie, you find Kit in just sort of on like an outcropping of rock, near the bunker, where I will say there's like some of the other survivors are like in the process of like kind of clearing brush and stuff out of the area to make sure that everybody has room for the placement of like the barriers and things like that. And Kit, you find sort of sitting on an outcropping of rock, watching all of this happening.
Assuming there's like a tree nearby that's close, Frankie is just kind of lean up against the tree. I'm trying to think of what the pose is. You know what I mean? Like kind of leaned up with like one foot at an angle, just kind of like.
I love that Frankie possibly thought this out and imagined how am I gonna, what do I want to do? What do I want to look like?
Like, am I looking cool enough? No.
Yes.
I love it. I'm
Frankie-
here for it. I ship it.
Frankie's just kind of like. So, what's on your mind?
You like behind her?
Yeah.
I don't think she answers.
Frankie's gonna like look at himself and realize he does look kind of a little bit, really does kind of look stupid in this position, and like just kind of fixes it and like walks kind of, and will walk around to be in front of Kit rather. Hey.
Hi. You need something, or
No. No. Just I wanted to say that if you want to talk, I'm here. We could, if you like, spend the time putting salt in old wounds. I thought you were dead. You didn't even give me a chance to change your mind. You thought we were dead. You thought we abandoned you. But we're here now. About you every day. I thought about that moment on the roof. Every day. I didn't say it because I was a coward. Still love you.
No, you don't. It's so stupid.
Maybe.
You don't even know me anymore. You don't. No. No, you like the idea of who you knew. You don't. I think I stand up and pull away a little bit. I'm like, I'm not the same person, and neither are you. So you can just like cut it out with the stupid.
Fair. We are different now. And it changes how I feel. So I needed to say it. Wanted to say it, and you take it how you will. The important thing right now is that we're going to take on this bunker together, and I'm not going to be running away this time. I'm going in there with you.
No, you're not.
Yeah? What do you mean?
I mean, you're not gonna go in there and put yourself in fucking.
Well, whatever the
You
plan
would
is, I
die.
just mean... Okay, I mean, we're gonna go and we're gonna be taking over this bunker together. It's what I mean. I don't mean them participating
Great.
in whatever... I've been through a lot of scrappy stuff. You don't need to worry about me so much.
Scrappy stuff, huh?
Yeah.
You all left, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this.
First. You slipped away so quietly.
Yeah, well. Listen, maybe if I'd known, then I wouldn't have, but like I didn't. I thought I was.
I get that. But you. I missed you. I don't care if you're a different person. We've all changed, like I've said. I don't know. I don't want to push you, and I don't want to. You seem pretty focused here, so I'll just I'll leave you to it for now. And frankly,
I waited for a month. I had to stop waiting at some point.
No communication? How are we supposed to know?
No. but it was still early, you know? It wasn't like this then. People weren't used to... So I thought, hey, I'm sure they'll come check. And, he didn't, so I had to keep moving.
Yeah, to keep moving, and things move fast and deadly in the apocalypse, apparently, so. So sorry.
It's just embarrassing, you know? I did that and I wasn't even worth...
At some point, I'll be really curious to know how you did survive, because so far that's not something I've seen before. I mean, we've seen the pinstripe thing, that fucker long ago, remember? This is different.
Yeah.
And that's highly personal. I'm sorry.
I didn't give anyone a chance to stop me because I didn't think there was any point. So yeah. I'm glad it wasn't for nothing. You're all still here, so.
Yeah.
At this point, you hear you hear somebody shout, and Frankie, as you look over, you see Ron like waving to you. He says, "Could you give me a hand with this real quick?" And you can see as he's holding up like a whole, like several bags of equipment. It's like,
Yep. He's like gesturing at me, or
yeah.
both of us. Oh, yeah. I'll walk past Kit, kind of like closely, but not like directly, like, and just like nudge elbows or nudge shoulders. Just like not trying to be like not trying to force a hug or force anything, just like a playful nudge, you know, just like a I'll be around. Not going anywhere this time. And we'll go and help.
Kit, as you sort of watch Frankie go, something tugs at the edge of your awareness. Like you turn towards it, facing east, and you know what it is because you never stopped feeling it since the moment you saw it. Kind of looking in the direction of the mountains and what was once Denver. It almost for a moment seems like the sky darkens a little bit, but you kind of blink it away and it just seems like it was maybe a trick of the light.
I'm gonna stand up and head back to camp.
Okay. Where is Maisel at this point?
Well, I think probably helping James with all like the final preparations and like getting everybody in, doing like getting ready for stations or like helping get everything prepared for like the final push and stuff because well, Maisel is not good in terms of battle. She'll do whatever she can to get everybody prepped and know what the plan of action is and all of that stuff. So,
Okay.
is sort of in the like, I don't know, in the war room of like getting everything prepared type of thing.
James is sort of looking over like your like papers that you have all sort of scattered over the one remaining picnic table
Yeah.
that you kind of kept. He's looking over it. He says, I think that's it. I don't see that we're going to get any more rated than this.
Yeah.
Casey finished with the spears, the barriers, and last I heard from Ronnie, everything's getting hooked up right now for the door.
Good. I mean, there's no way to know how many there are in there, so only be so prepared.
He kind of looks over and where you can see, like, looks past you to the campus. People are like in the process of grabbing things and getting set up. You can see people like tossing a bag to somebody tosses a bag to somebody else who catches it and sort of sets it with a pile of gear and like says, I feel like somebody should say something to them. I don't know.
I mean, I think someone should. I don't know.
He looks at you, Maisel, and says, I know that look. It's the look of somebody who's had to carry a lot. I know it.
That's an understatement.
The rare occasions I get a chance to look in a mirror these days, I see it myself.
Well, I know that everybody that you've protected really looks up to you. That's first night that I met everybody. That's all they were saying.
He nods at you and says, heard similar things about you. You managed to pull these people out of hell over and over again.
It doesn't always feel like that.
And they won't always appreciate it when you do.
That's true. But I'd say the same for all of them for me as well. I don't think I'd be standing here. Or we'd have made it this far or gotten that bus without Kai over there or Nick over there. So.
Well, let's hope we all pull it through one more time.
Yeah.
He kind of... Yeah.
We've got a decent enough plan. All we can hope for is that the universe chooses to be kind.
He puts a hand on your shoulder and just kind of squeezes for a moment and reassuringly says, let's get this done.
All right.
We're going to go ahead and say, kind of cut to everybody arriving at the bunker as everybody's sort of gathering up. And James, like as people are sort of positioning, James kind of stands up in front of everyone. He's like, okay, everyone, this is it. There's only that door and the dead inside that stand between us and survival. Winter's almost here, and it's going to be a bad one from everything that we've seen. We've all been through a lot. Every single one of us has a burden that we carry. But right now, the only thing that I see, the only thing that matters, is that each of us here are standing shoulder to shoulder, ready to put everything on the line so that everyone else can make it. This is what we're fighting for. Whenever you lose hope, Whenever you feel like the world has taken everything from you, this is what you look back on and remember that this is why we're fighting. Not for survival, not for the bunker. We're fighting because there are still people willing to put themselves out on the line for each other. That's the world that we left behind. But it's the world that we can build again, and it starts here. Right now. Hold tight, everyone. We'll make it through. Ronnie, how you doing on that door? Says, almost ready. Just gotta connect these here, and I think we should be ready. All right.
All right, battle stations, everybody.
Everybody sort of spreads out, sort of setting up the corridor of the barricades, ready to start funneling the dead through them. See, Hall goes, "Spears up!" And everybody sort of with holding spears steps up and gets them ready, sort of holding them over the barricades, ready to stab.
Grab my spear. Perfect.
What's up, Elson?
I'm gonna move up towards the door so I can help be the one to open it.
Okay. All right. Then, in that case, let's do a quick little. Okay. That is. So Ronnie has the control panel for the electric lock open, just kind of hanging from a few wires as he reaches down to the this sort of like hodgepodge of wires and cords that he has hooked up to the car battery. As he takes a second and says, he looks over at you, Casey, and says, "Moment of truth. Let's go. Either we get in, or I electrocute myself."
Ooh, let's do it.
I'm gonna hope it's the former, Ron.
Yeah.
If I'm being perfectly honest.
Yes, I agree. Here we go. And you watch as he hooks in. He says, "All right, no electrocution so far." And you watch as the control panel for the keypad, basically, little digital keypad, suddenly lights up. He says, "We have power." All right. Give me 1 second. I should be able to crack this. James calls over. He says, "Be ready to move as soon as you get that door open, right behind the barriers. We don't know what's behind the door." You see as Ronnie is sort of fiddling with it after a moment. He says, "Oh, okay. I think... Well, so much for paranoid death cult." And you see, as he's sort of looking through everything, he just goes... he just types in 00005.
Oh my god.
All right.
You hear a deep clunk from the door, and then it just opens ever so slightly as the locks disengage. Kit, you can see as the door sort of separates from the you should be able to pull it open at this point. As soon as the door clicks, Ron just disconnects the battery and then just drops it and runs back behind the barrier.
Where's Casey?
I think she was a few steps away from Ron on the other side of the barrier.
I'm gonna make sure that everybody else is behind the barriers, and then
Yeah, everyone is positioned either behind the barriers or on top of the little
Above.
hillock. Yeah, above the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
Shaw.
where the people with guns are.
Yes,
Yeah,
Shaw,
Zeke and I are up there as
Yeah.
well.
Kit, as you kind of look up, making
Yeah.
sure everybody's in position. Shaw gives you a nod, and just shoulders his rifle.
I'm gonna make eye contact with James as well.
James gives you a nod. Let's do it.
I'm gonna pull it open all the way.
All right.
Oh shit.
The
We
door
need some
pulls
good
open.
action music for this.
Yeah, you're right. This is what I'm playing right now is just good build-up music.
Oh, fight, fight, fight!
Fight, fight,
Fight,
fight.
fight, fight,
Fight,
fight.
fight,
Actually,
fight.
the bunker is empty.
That'd be so nice, though.
No, the
There's
bunker
an
is
entire
the zombie.
hydroponics farm downstairs.
A zombie bunker mimic? Is that what you're insinuating?
It's like
Oh.
Oh
Oh
no,
my
I hate
God.
that.
that haunted house from that one movie that I can't. Monster House or whatever.
Monster House.
Oh,
it's
Monster
a
House?
girl
No,
house.
no.
Anyway.
Oh,
Anyway.
No, drag.
So Kit pulls the door open. The hinges sort of squeal a little bit as they are not in. Have not been taken care of recently. There, as like, yeah, metal grinding on metal as the door pulls open, and you, Kit, peer into the darkened depths of this bunker. The daylight illuminating perhaps maybe 15, 20 feet into the inside. You can see about 15 or 20 feet of corridor with like a door leading off to the right side, and then stairs that descend into the gloom. And from that, you hear the unmistakable sound of the sort of guttural, kind of rasping sounds of the dead. Close. Likely
I'm gonna
drawn by
look
the squeal
around.
of the door.
One more time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna slip inside.
Okay. I'm gonna say.
Was Casey going to tag along with Kit, or was it going to be just Kit?
I don't think so.
I'm
So-
pretty sure Kit made it clear that it's just Kit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd say that if James is actually I think Valerie is near Casey. She just sort of like looks at you, kind of reacting to like a little bit to Kit going in to the bunker alone. Valerie looks at you and just says, "She'll be fine. She can get I've seen her go into worse things than this and come back."
Yeah, just hate sending people in a line.
James raises a hand and looks over at a group of people who have like a series of just like metal, whatever that like pots and pans and whatever they can get, and he nods. He like gives them a signal, and they all start like banging on the pots and pans, things like that, just sort of like making a bunch of noise. Zeke reaches down into a bag and pulls out an air horn and just.
Zeke's been waiting for this moment.
Get that!
He looks up at you and says, James gave it to me.
Edible.
They're both little troublemakers.
All right, James is all right, but just don't point it at me, please.
Immediately you hear from inside, you hear the reaction right away, as the dead begin exiting the bunker. And from the sound of it, there's a lot of them, and you have a fight on your hands. Okay. Let's.
So I think I gave. Did I give Zeke my pistol? I think I did.
think
And I
so.
still have my bolt action. I know the AR is lost to the, camp of assholes. I think I still have my bolt action.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I think I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
No, I don't. because they were both kept at the gate, and then we escaped on
No,
the
you
bus.
grabbed one of them.
Did
We were
I?
able to
Yeah,
gra-
you-
we were able to grab one.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember I tried to negotiate them like letting me keep one, and it was probably
Yeah.
the bolt action. Of course, it was the bad one, but it's fine. Okay, as long as I know what I'm using. Oh wait, no, that one was okay. The AR was bad. Ha!
That's what.
Take
Yeah. That's what I. Yeah. All right.
Rifle bolt action.
The
Okay.
first of the dead steps out of the bunker, and you see what was probably just like an old man at the time. You can see like has mostly like decomposed, but you can still see like the scraggly gray beard that is just like hanging with like just caked in dried blood.
Crusty.
It just sort of comes out and sort of turns and looks, and before it can get more than a couple of steps, a spear from above just goes right through the head, and it's just
Yes.
and just goes
Nice.
um
Nice.
and as that happens, you see that they begin just sort of pouring out of the entrance, choked a little bit by the actual physical size of the doorway, but still like pushing out and pushing back against each other and like pushing forward, basically causing them to come out a little faster. Some of them stumbling in front and getting sort of trampled by the ones behind, but mostly they're just all coming forward. So here's where we're at. I think what's going to happen here, I got to figure out exactly how to set this up. So I think we're at threat level 3, so everybody immediately gains a point of stress.
Okay.
And it is a swarm size of, I think this is a swarm size of 2, which makes the overall swarm threat, I believe that makes it 5, which means, let's see. Yeah, the swarm threat is. Okay, now here's where we'll get into the fighting the swarm mechanics. You win and lose as a group by comparing your number of. Oh, sorry, hold on, incorrect. Let me start here. Once the threat, each round, up to 3 chosen PCs and NPCs in the fight roll for skills and add up their number of successes.
Okay.
The skills that can be used depend on the current threat level, and I'll let you know which ones those are. Additional PCs and NPCs present can assist with help dice, but no more than 3 may roll. What we have here, you have plenty of PCs and NPCs to make assisting rolls here. A PC, here's leadership. A PC who is not making one of the 3 skill rolls during a round may bark orders and roll for leadership. If the others do as they're told, the PC may hand out 1 extra die per success on the leadership skill roll. So, basically, Maisel, if you want to hang back and call orders, you make a leadership roll, and you get to add an extra die to anybody's roll per success on that leadership roll.
Okay.
So the more successes you get, the more
That's cool.
assistant dice you can throw out. Only 1 person per round can roll for leadership this way.
All right. I'm good for that.
And it says
Use that
also,
walkie-talkie.
additionally, no more than 3 dice can be given to the same person. So, the other thing is, so if you get a total number of successes equal to or greater than the swarm threat, and the swarm size is 3 or lower, you win the fight. But otherwise, the threat level goes down. Oh, sorry, hold on. Yeah, if the swarm size is 4 or higher, winning a round just means the swarm size is reduced 1 step. So,
That makes sense.
yeah. So here's what just so that you know the stakes. If you get fewer successes than the current swarm threat, which again is 5, and that will go up as the threat level increases, So like the swarm. Anyway, if you get fewer successes in the current swarm threat, the walkers win the round, and then the GM chooses one of the following options. So the threat level is increased 1 step, the swarm size is increased 1 step, and the swarm attacks. So
Okay.
those are the options if you do not succeed. So at this moment, I'm going to ask you guys to choose who's rolling.
We're
guess-
rolling like
Since Kit is
I'm
inside,
inside, so
technically that means it's the 3 of you and Maisel is rolling leadership. So
and then some of the NPCs can help us.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
Alright,
Zeke,
yeah,
help.
yeah, Zeke.
What are we
can
rolling
absolutely
exactly?
help. Zeke can absolutely help.
I mean, do we
Okay.
want Zeke to be a role, like one of the main roles, or do we want him to be like a helper dice?
I
Like,
think
because it's
Z-
based on,
Yeah.
like their people's like good
Yeah.
stats.
Probably a helper because he's
Yeah.
still learning.
So-
So he can be my buddy.
The swarm threat is 3, which means currently the skills you can use are endure, force, mobility, ranged combat, and stealth.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You probably not, I'm going to say, given the circumstances, though, I'm going to eliminate stealth as a possibility, since you're not trying to escape from the swarm. So,
Yeah.
Sneak
that makes
attacks.
sense.
Do some rogue shit.
I guess, you know what?
Interesting.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
No.
so. I don't think so.
I tried.
I'm gonna roll mobility for Casey because I think the way that she's handling this is kind of just anywhere that she sees that like their barricades are starting to get like pushed back by the crowd. She's gonna like dash over there and like just jab a few times to take a few out or poke them down.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds good.
Stress dice and do I add the? I don't add like the spear to this, do I?
The spear has a gear bonus. Yeah, I believe it has a.
Okay.
I'm actually not sure what that is off the top of my head.
Plus 2.
Plus 2. Then yes, you add the gear bonus.
oh hell yeah.
Okay.
Do we have
I
any
forgot
stats?
about those.
Do we have any stats for any of the other NPCs that were not part of our own survivors, or
No.
Okay.
You don't.
just checking? That's fine. Then I propose our other two or three NPCs our other two NPCs as could either be Shaw, Nick, or Cole. 'Cause
Kai's
they've got-
pretty good as well. I don't know what the stats are.
Kai is only trained in medicine and manipulation.
In fairness, I will say that given
And
like
Grand
Zeke,
Theft Auto.
the
Well,
only
yes.
thing that the NPCs are going to impact here is giving an extra die to the roll that is being made.
Okay. All right. Then never
So,
mind.
Yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, I think each of you who are rolling, can choose an NPC to like assist you.
Is this? Okay.
Okay. I'll you know what? Nick and I have been chatting today. It can be Nick and Casey.
All right. All right, and then Gabby's got Zeke. Frankie.
Well, who do you want to help you?
It doesn't. It doesn't matter too much to me. I don't think.
Well, what
I'm
role are you
thinking
making?
about. I'm gonna go with wits. I think.
Well, the ones that you have to choose from are endure, force, mobility,
Oh,
range,
right.
combat, and that's it. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm like mixing up two different. I'm mixing
Yeah,
up skill
yeah.
challenges in my head too now. So I'm good though. I think I'll do ranged combat then actually.
Cool.
So I think Frankie has a spear as well. Let's
Then
try a spear out.
I'll make the suggestion that maybe Hall assists you because Hall is an expert
Perfect.
in ranged combat. So
Perfect.
yeah.
That works
Okay.
for me.
Cool. And honestly, Bree, even though technically this isn't how it works, I think given the circumstances, you can have James as an assistant on your leadership. So
I was gonna be like, can James help me?
that's like technically not how leadership works, but in this specific
Sure it
instance,
does.
I think it can.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Adds legitimacy.
So let's go with Maisel first, so that we know if there are any assistant dice from the leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
I love dice pool systems because I'm rolling this many dice.
Makes the brain go.
That's
brrr.
satisfying.
That is 3 successes.
Okay, so that's a total of 3 additional dice that you can dole out to people if you like.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Then I think that means I'll just give 1 to all
Each
3
of
of
them?
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Nice. Oh my god, so many
You
times.
guys go ahead and give me your rolls here.
Satisfying sound.
Clicky clacky math rocks.
I'm
Clicky
rolling
clacky math
11
rocks.
dice.
That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also
7
rolling
on
11
mine.
dice.
I rolled 9 for my leadership.
What do you got, Freeman?
No successes and no failures.
Okay.
Oh,
Just riding the line.
I have 1 success.
1 success. Okay.
We're rolling so many dice and we're only getting 1. Ugh.
I didn't mess up.
I forgot my
So
dice
that's
tray is
good.
full of loose change right now. It needs to be full of dice.
Binary
I was
dice.
cleaning
It's
up the
full of
office
binary
and I
dice.
didn't have a jar.
It's full of binary dice.
But trust me, my odds would
Lots of
be a
V2s.
lot better if I were just flipping coins. No stress, no stress. How many more successes do we need?
4.
4?
4.
Come on.
Now, statistically speaking, since Freeman and I rolled so few,
You'd think.
I
Yeah.
only got 1.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
oh no!
Okay.
The first round's not
And-
going well for us.
Hold on. Ones are failures, right?
On the stress die in
On the
particular.
stress
Oh,
dice.
thank fuck, that's a 2.
Yeah, only on the
Yeah.
stress die.
Make sure I'm using like different colored dice for my.
Yeah.
Mine
Um,
looks like ice cream to make it seem less intimidating.
trying to decide if I want to push that roll.
Yeah, you can
that's
choose to
right.
push rolls. You can also remember you can use your drives also to add dice to the roll. Not now because you've already rolled, but
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I will do
I'll
that
use it next time. Yeah. I will find a way to solve this.
I am a survivor.
Ooh, that's a lot of stress dice. I'm gonna push the roll.
all right. So you immediately gain another stress, and go ahead and push the roll. Remember that you don't roll the one that's already a success.
Okay.
You don't re-roll that one. You keep that one.
I had.
And then- yeah.
You can stay over there, my beautiful little bi-colored dice.
Using my desk as like a stress ball.
Okay. So, Casey rolled 3 additional successes,
So
and
that's-
she messed up.
Well,
So that's 4 successes total. Is that right? Am I doing the math?
Casey
Yeah.
now has
no, it was
4
4 from Casey, 1 from Gabby, so it is
it's
5.
It's
That's
5,
5.
but also
It's
messing
5.
up. Great.
Also, we messed up.
but also Casey messed up.
Fantastic.
Oh
So-
no, you lost your spear.
So here's how I'm
Oh,
gonna
heck.
do this. So first of all, as like the Maisel and James calling out orders, just sort of keeping everything shored up. The plan is sort of working without a hitch at the moment, as people are just like, everybody is exactly where they're supposed to be. Anytime it looks like the dead are going to break through the barricade wall, other additional people, like particularly those who like were making noise or whatever, drop what they're doing, rush up and like add their body weight to the barricades, and then others, particularly like Shaw up above, just sort of firing and making sure to like ease up the tension on that specific location, and the plan appears to be working as the dead are being funneled into a kill box, basically. Casey, as you stab over the barricade, one of the dead that was not quite completely dead reaches up to attempt to grab you, and you suffer a single walker attack. I would like you to roll any die that any roll that you think would be relevant here.
Wait, what?
three stress die on that roll. We're gonna try and just jerk away from it with mobility.
Wait, I have a question. 3 stress dice? Where's the third one coming from?
I pushed a roll. I had 1 stress already, and Casey gained 1 stress at the end of the last session.
Right. That's right. Okay.
Oh, you had
Yeah,
carryover stress.
that's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was gonna say you could clear that other one, but because of what happened last time, yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
If
Casey.
anybody, I will say this: if anybody else, any of the rest of you, notable exceptions excluded, obviously. If anybody else had stress from last time, make sure that you are not counting those. But yeah. Casey is a specific case, however. So,
Your
Jeez.
special case.
what roll are you making?
A mobility roll.
Okay.
Okay. No mess ups, which is good.
Oh, thank God.
It's a fairly high chance of that. We have a 6 on a stress die and then 2 additional 6s, so 3
Okay.
total success.
Cool. That being the case, Casey, as your arm gets grabbed, you just let go of the spear with that one, pull it back, and just stab. As you like pull away, the
I
creature
think-
collapsing against the barricade.
I think she fully stumbles like 2 steps back and just falls on her ass. That like, shit.
All right. The swarm threat level drops by 1 because the swarm size decreases by 1. So now there's 4 successes required. So round 2 here.
Round 2.
Fight!
Maisel, if you would like, you may make another leadership roll.
Inspire us, Mason.
I'm doing my best.
Okie dokie.
I'm doing what I can. Alright, that's 2 successes.
Okay. So you may add. You have 2 dice that you can give to people. The rest of you, you're making the same rolls, different rolls. The threat level is the same, so you have the same rolls available to you.
I'll do the same. I'll stick with ranged combat.
Ranged combat as well.
Alright, I'm gonna give a
Adding my
dice.
drive this time.
I'm gonna give a dice to Casey and to Frankie.
Sounds good. Alright, and Gabby's adding drive.
Yup.
Oh yeah, drive,
Right.
absolutely.
I'm gonna
I'm
roll my
survivor,
dice
I
in
think.
bunches this time because I think it actually worked against me having all of them drop at once.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I did for mine too.
One success. Batch 1. Oh shit. 2 successes.
Alright,
Alright.
that's half of what you need. What else we got? How'd the rest of you do?
I got 2
Casey-
successes. Oops, sorry.
Casey
Yes.
has 1 success and has
No.
rolled a 1 on a stress
No.
die again.
Oh my god.
Fucking incredible.
Amazing.
Macy.
Casey is too tired.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just blame it on Nick. You know,
So
Nick slumped, right?
So you got 5 successes in total. So the swarm threat once again decreases. As you all like working together, like stabbing, shooting, whatever you need to do. In some places. This time, Casey, as you are fighting here, man, I'm trying to think about let me look something up really fast because I want to make sure there's a specific thing that I need to. All right. We'll just kind of let the tension build on this one.
Good.
Interesting.
I am afraid.
Okay, here's how I think this goes. Casey, as you kind of very like focused on like one section of the barricade, as you were like stabbing with the spear as much as you can, try to get as many of them as you can. You fail to notice. It's one of those instances where you're sort of focusing where you are. You fail to notice as a section of barricade next to you has quite the buildup, and they don't have enough people helping them. You see as the dead, you hear too late as somebody calls out, "They're breaking through!" And you turn and look just in time to see like some of the dead just sort of push through.
Don't like that.
Literally the barricade acting against the people behind it as it falls on top of them and the dead on top of them.
Oh no.
And
no,
the ones behind them starting to kind of pour through.
Casey, run!
The swarm threat is lessened, but now you have a new problem.
Yep.
Actually, the swarm threat I think stays the same because here's what I'm going to say. I think that the overall threat level increases as a result of this. So the swarm size gets smaller, but the threat level increases. So net 0, basically here. So there's fewer of them, but now they're closer and can get to people. So, that's correct. We're gonna cut separate real quick to Kit. Kit, you are inside the bunker, making your way through the corridor. As the dead just sort of walk past you, you sort of see their faces as they move past. Lurid, corpse-like faces, briefly illuminated in the fluctuating light as the ones in front of them intermittently block out the daylight. It's like moving through a nightmare, a sort of like a bizarre strobe effect caused by the dead moving towards the entrance. But you kind of slipping past them in the opposite direction as they barely take any notice of you. You continue moving down the stairs until you come into a section where, at the bottom of the stairs, a hallway that hits a T intersection, a corridor, and a door immediately in front of you that is currently open into a large space filled with shelves and boxes and all sorts of things. Barely visible, as everything in here is pitch black except for the kind of red emergency lighting. You can see where there are larger lights that are currently not active. Yeah.
Are there any other closed doors in this corridor?
Yeah, there are. If you look up and down like the T intersection, you can see other doors kind of off the corridor. Some of them are closed, some of them are not.
I'm gonna leave those closed, but I am going to make my way around the corridor. I'm gonna start slowly moving, trying to see if there are any stragglers left behind. I want to kind of gather them.
Yeah, there definitely are, and quite a few of them are seemingly drawn by the sound of weapons fire outside and the sounds of shouting and other noises caused intentionally or incidentally by the skirmish. but you do find after a while some places larger rooms where there are groups of the dead that are just milling about, that don't seem to have been entirely drawn by the commotion. Go ahead and give me a survival roll on this.
That is 1 success.
Okay, so Kit, like you've
I
done
had a
a
1,
couple-
but it was not on stress, so I panicked.
yeah, like you've done a couple of times before, you start kind of pacing around the outside of the room, imitating the movements of the dead, in some ways, sort of influencing them as you move around them. After a moment, you see as like one starts to follow you, and then another, sort of as you continue this spiral motion. A couple of them begin to fall in behind you, and as they begin moving, others begin moving as well. And pretty soon you have them all, and you're able to lead them as you wish.
I'm gonna lead them back up towards the entrance.
Okay. Yeah. Outside, I think Gabby is in the best position to notice any of this, as you, Gabby, are like
Yep.
watching the barricade break and watching people rush to try to mitigate that situation. You also see Kit emerge from the bunker, followed by the dead, but it doesn't look like they're chasing her. It looks like any other movement that you've seen of swarms. If anything, Gabby, actually, you know what? Go ahead and I want you to give me a wits roll.
What the fuck kind of Pied Piper shit is this? Wits? My wits aren't very high. We'll try. I still have the stress to it. No successes, no failures.
Okay. Yeah, you see Kit just
That's
sort of
weird.
Yeah, it is weird. You see
What you
Kit
doing
kind
there,
of
Kit?
leading the dead, but like your focus is sort of being drawn to other places, so you like note it, but like really
Yeah.
don't think about it in the
like-
moment. It's like you just sort of put it to the back of your mind.
That's weird. I'll think about that later.
Yeah, and you sort of, yeah.
What doing? What them zombies do?
Jesus.
Ghost shit.
All right. With that being the case,
Damn.
we are to our third round of this. So Maisel, if you would like to make your leadership role here, any specific orders that you're calling out to people here?
Specifically to either get that barrier up or kill all of, like, to fix that situation is my, like, specific, like, is my main mode of, like, yeah, there's a swarm, but, like, we're trying to keep those people that are pinned under the barricade alive. That's the main priority, and then if you can't get there, keep taking shots at the swarm.
Okay.
Sort of vibe.
That being the case, oh yeah, what's up, Scrib?
I'll wait until the leadership role.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
And then I've got a question about the way I'm gonna try the thing.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Read.
Okay. Ooh! 4 successes.
Oh shit. That's
Oh yeah.
4 dice that you get to like give out to people.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
So,
Nice.
given that the threat level has increased, you are now, you can make the same checks. The only one that you cannot make anymore is endure. That is no longer on the table.
Okay.
So, otherwise, you can do force, mobility, and range combat. Who?
Yeah. What is everyone doing, and then I'll decide. Who I'm
I still have these grenades. And I'd like to use them. But I can't remember what the radius is. Obviously, I want to throw them in a way that does not hurt allies. I can't remember what BP stands for, but it says BP8. Is that
It's
blast?
like blast. something. I don't know.
Power.
Power.
Blast
That is
power
what it is.
8.
Blast power.
I have one. Zeke also has one. If he's my buddy.
Yeah.
When in doubt, grenade out.
Hold on. Where's the? Here.
Kind of risky, but
Fire in the hole.
Let me look at this here.
Down here.
Yeah, don't hurt
Not
Kit.
towards you. I know. I saw you. I
No, you're
noted
good.
it. I went, that's weird. But you don't seem to be in immediate danger. Weirdly, I'm not going to get weirded out by that right in this moment. I want to focus on the barriers.
Roll a number of
The
dice
other
equals
ones.
blast power. Each success means 1 point of damage to all targets.
Right. Okay.
Maybe I'll just throw mine and Zeke will
Okay.
hold on to his.
Sounds good.
I don't want to just.
Everybody,
Cause
it says if you
problems.
hit all targets within short range.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
If I hit, I need some successes on my range.
Yes, you do. Oh, you don't want to mess up with a grenade. Anyway.
No.
Okay, I'm going.
No, I
I'll give-
don't.
All right, I'll give.
God, I'm
I'll
scared
give
now.
Gabby. I'll give Gabby 2 dice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
yeah.
And then I'll give 1 to Casey and 1 to Frankie.
Okay.
We
What's
can only
Casey
use our
doing?
drive once. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Casey, Frankie, what are you guys doing?
ranged as well. Yep. Gotta play to the strengths here a little bit.
I think Casey is still just trying to stay mobile.
Okay. Cool.
Why do I only have one stress? This might be one where I push.
All right. Then go ahead and give me your rolls.
You got this, guys. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you.
2 successes there.
Okay.
One of them was on the stress die.
My spooky, scary Halloween dice believe
Yep.
in you. Oh, I
I
love it.
also got a success on my stress die, which is always
Nice.
fun. So I got 1.
Hell yeah.
Did Casey get any die from Maisel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
I gave you 1. I gave 1 to Frankie, 1 to Casey, and then 2 to Gabby.
One
It's
of my
fair.
successes was on a die that you gave me, Maisel.
That's
Feeling the love.
Did you mess up again?
Stop! Casey, stop!
Damn it!
Oh my god.
So I have 2 successes,
Uh-huh.
and there's a 1 on one of my stress die.
Okay.
And I think probably you said they tumble over and are starting to pile on top of the barricade to get at the
Damn
people
it.
underneath.
You need,
Um,
you need new dice.
I think Casey is just going to grab one of the pans off the ground and bang it against her spear to see if she can get them to a few of them to peel off of the barrier.
Cool. All right. So I believe you got the number of successes you need. Is that correct? You got a total of 4 or more.
Hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Does my grenade help counteract some of this for Casey?
Actually, yeah. So here's basically how this goes. Hold on 1 second. I just want to
Let me
make
mark
sure.
a grenade expended.
Sorry, I'm just reading the. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Basically, the way that this I think works is that, Casey, you are, yeah, making noise against the like grabbing one of the pots and just sort of banging your spear against it, making noise. Some of the dead sort of turn in your direction and sort of move towards you. And I think the way that this happens, honestly, I think the thing that makes the most sense here is with the messing up. Kit had control of the new ones that she brought in, but with
Oh,
Casey making
shit.
all this noise, and yelling or whatever, some of them start breaking away from that swarm and adding to the existing one. So the what I'm gonna say is the swarm size doesn't change for this round, but also the threat level doesn't go up either. So because of your successes. So
Okay.
yeah, basically again a net zero gain here. But
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Okay. That said, Gabby at that moment, Gabby, grenade goes down and just sending shrapnel. Luckily,
Can I just roll it just for fun? Because
Yes,
that's 8
absolutely.
more dice I get to roll, and
Absolutely.
I've really been wanting to use a grenade.
And you also get to add all of the successes on your attack roll to the.
oh yeah, that's right.
Dude, oh shit!
I'm looking at the page.
It's another 11. No stress dice.
Nope.
Associated with this one. Hi. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
At this point,
So-
your stress affects nothing because it's literally out of your hands.
Stress? Who's that? I don't know her. So okay, I'm only counting the successes.
Yes.
Okay, well it's just one, but it's
One. Okay. Well, that means that's the number. That's the damage that is done to all of the zombies in the
That's fine.
blast radius. So you watch the shrapnel just goes out, and it doesn't kill too many of them, but it does like the force of the blast and also the shrapnel from the grenade sends it gives enough of a break in there, like either sends them flying or like tears them apart enough that like the people under the barricade can like push themselves up and out of it and scramble out from underneath it. One of them anyway. The other one is currently in the process of like being
Oh
torn.
no. Ah! Oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, you see the one sort of scramble out and just sort of look around and just grab a hatchet that they dropped on the ground and just hit one of the zombies as they back away towards Casey. Okay. We're at a new round. Yeah, Allison, did you have something you were gonna say?
Yeah. Is it possible to try to regain control?
Yeah, you can try to regain control here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, however, in this instance, now that you're in the midst of things, the threat level stress gets applied to you as well, so you take one more.
Okay.
did you-
I had already applied it. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
When you
Okay,
said
then
it went
never
up for
mind.
everybody,
Then
yeah.
never mind. Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Okay. That is one success.
Cool. All right. With that, Kit begins. You're. I'm gonna say for this one, it probably. I guess I should have told you ahead before you rolled, but you would have, because of the circumstances involved here and the number of people and the sounds and like chaos around you, it would have required an additional success. So, but I'll say a partial success is still a partial success. So what I'm going to say is at the moment, you've basically managed to like corral some of them in as you sort of like are keeping that same motion going.
My
But-
goal is to like the ones that were starting to break off. I want to try to pull them back in towards the main group.
Right.
Like I'm not
So
trying
what I'm
to
gonna
fully
say
like
is-
corral all of them right now.
What I'm going to say in this instance is because you only got one success, the ones who broke away are kind of a lost cause at this point. The only thing you can do right now is keep control of the ones that you currently have, because they are still not entirely out of the bunker yet. So you can kind of try to keep them a little bit like, yeah. You can feel your control over the swarm slipping as they have now noticed the others in the vicinity and are looking like they're wanting to break away to go and munch. But you're for the time being, you've prevented any sort of like all-out disaster that will come from additional dead being added to the swarm. So, round 4. Maisel.
I wish my wit was higher. We're gonna talk about this.
I have a theory, but it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Got
go.
any pinstripes hidden somewhere there, lady? Kind of true soul thing going on here.
As you
You have a
corral
worm
the
in your
zombies,
brain.
you feel power. Authority.
Authority.
Okay, only 2 successes this time.
Okay. Other 3, what are you guys
These are
doing?
my Halloween dice.
Ooh, nice.
They're so cute.
Isn't it so cute?
Sticking to the
So
same.
it's mobility,
Aw,
range,
spoopy.
and force still.
Yes. Where did it go?
Almost forgot I had to roll. I was too busy thinking about
yeah,
this weird
force,
power
mobility,
stuff.
ranged. Yep, that's what you got right now.
And
Definitely-
Lucas, you were saying that one person is getting mauled by a zombie currently.
Mhm.
Like,
I am going
how
to
far?
hurl my
yeah, how
spear
far
through that
along
one.
on that is
That's
that
a good
happening?
point.
Where are we at with that?
That's a good point. So everybody takes an additional stress from that.
Cool.
Yeah. Are they one of ours?
Wait, do I have a?
I
It's
don't.
not. It's not one of yours. It is. That's right.
Okay.
Casey does not.
I don't get it. I don't take it either.
Oh, cool. All right.
Because I also have seen it all.
Oh.
We are damaged. Oh.
Trauma.
Trauma.
All right. How far along? It's they're lost. There's no. Yeah.
Poor unnamed NPC.
I feel like
We will have
there's
a
something that
funeral.
I've been doing wrong here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you're somehow jinxing Casey's dice. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
My dice are
Stop
haunted.
that.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. I think I'm good then. All right. Go ahead and make your rolls if you have not already.
What is
Oh.
everyone doing?
Yeah.
Ranged combat
Oh, I
again.
thought we were just doing the
just
same as
with
before.
the
Sorry.
rifle this time.
Rifle. Okay.
I mean, I am trying to flavor it more as like, well, now that they've broken through, right? I'm gonna just try to take out numbers rather than trying to be like
Yeah.
crafty or like tactical about it. Now we're just trying to. I'm just trying to help people give them time to get out of there because they're like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Prioritizing
So-
the ones that are closest to our
Yeah.
humans down there.
Cool. Cool.
Sadly, I only got 1 success.
Well, I'm gonna give a dice
is one.
to Frankie.
Okay.
And to Casey. Because
Alright,
Casey
so-
keeps having problems.
All right. Freeman, you can roll an additional die to add to that.
Okay, I hear ya. Okay, that's a
2.
3.
Okay. So 2 successes from Gabby, 1 from Frankie, and Casey.
Right. We've got 2 from Casey. No mess
Okay.
ups.
Yay!
And that is a total of
It's a spookmas miracle.
That was 5. I think.
5, I think. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Woo!
As this happens, you all take this moment as you fight harder and harder, knowing, like, some of it is desperation, some of it is the adrenaline of the moment, some of it is knowing just how close, seeing the dwindling numbers of the horde, knowing just how close you are. I'm gonna go ahead. As just zombie after zombie falls to your group's efforts, you pull together. You start working in tandem. Something, you're not exactly sure what it is, but something clicks, and suddenly, wherever somebody isn't, someone else fills in the gap. And before long, your group, James's group, you fall into a rhythm. Some of James's people managed to bring barricades from an area that the dead had not started moving towards, and bringing them in to kind of close the gap, basically reshaping where the funnel was going towards the breach instead. As others begin gathering up from gunfire to spear thrusts, swings of blunt instruments, one after another, after another, after another, and the world devolves into a blur of strike, back up, assess, strike, and it after a while, it's like it feels like the most natural thing in the world. Maisel, you and James fall into a rhythm as well, covering each other as like you call out orders, fighting the dead as they come close to you. Just making sure, taking a big picture look at the battlefield, knowing where things need to happen, sending people where they're needed. Kit, seeing all of this taking place, you using your ability, your at this point minimal control over the swarm, to instead of trying to keep them pent up, you're using it to mitigate how many of them get past you, giving the survivors behind you time and breathing room to take them down. And you're not sure in the end how long it takes, as you all kind of fall into a flow state. But before long, Frankie, you take a shot, and as you look around, you realize that the last of the dead has fallen. You all take a moment, and it doesn't quite set in, the realization, right away. But suddenly, one person, I'd say it's probably Zeke, goes, "We did it!" And before long, people start repeating the call and just cheering. And suddenly, where moments before the hillside was awash in the sounds of combat, now it is the sound of triumphant and defiant celebration.
Woo!
The bunker is clear, and at the very least, for the time being, your prospects of surviving the winter have drastically increased. And I think that's a good time to take our break. A little late, but we're gonna take it.
All right.
Whew.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That was pretty good. Except for that one poor person whose face got chewed off or something.
All right.
Not great.
We're gonna take a short break here. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll try to keep this one as tight as possible so we can come back in and finish out the episode. We'll be right back, everyone. Don't go anywhere.
All right.
And welcome back, everybody. We are back from our break. When we left off, oh boy. When we left off, the plan went off not without a hitch, but not as many or as bad of hitches as it could have been, as the bunker was cracked open, the electronic lock powered by the scavenged car battery. The dead funneled out into the kill zone and basically systematically eliminated by the two groups of survivors working together, which is where we left off. It is where we will be coming back in. I'm going to cut a little bit and say that over the next couple of hours, working in teams sent down into the bunker, stragglers are cleared out from rooms, and after I'd say about I'd say a good 3 hours go by before the full all clear is declared for the bunker.
Makes sense.
Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna loot bodies too as we go. Shamelessly
No,
looting
you
zombies.
should. You should.
These were cultists, right?
Yeah.
They might have some
know
weird
what?
shit on them.
Yeah. On that subject, as you start going through the bunker, you're finding that like reports are coming in of equipment in there. There are weapons in the bunker. There's not like a huge like armory or anything like that, but there's a decent stockpile of guns. There is a full like doomsday prepper pantry of food. Like there is so much food. Probably the most that any of you have seen in one place for years. Because as you can see from the people down here, or what was left of them, they sort of did their death cult thing and just immediately, like, the bunker was never exactly occupied in the strictest sense, as they basically
Not by the living.
not by the living. They pretty much, actually, you know what? Somebody, I'd say stress is cleared down at this point. I don't think it's completely clear. Everybody who had stress before, it's cleared down to 1. But
Okay.
if somebody would give me a scout roll, Frankie.
I
can-
Yeah,
do
go for
that.
it. Go
Take,
for it.
take the binos back if you didn't have them.
I don't
Sounds good.
know that those will help you in this instance.
That's true.
Yeah, you use the binoculars in a dark.
Vision, binos. I don't know.
We'll
fine.
we won't use it. We won't use it for the mechanics, but you'll have them just for the cool flavor of
cool
it. then.
factor. Yeah.
For the cool
Looks
factor.
through the binoculars in a small room. Like,
Yes, this is
What
this
is this?
Enhance.
Enhanced. 1 success
Okay.
and no
you,
failures.
You actually do find a journal. It's not much. It's not well written in, as it looks like it was started when they came down here. It is clearly from a leader of some sort, from references that you see in there to like, but there is a particular entry in it, Frankie, as you're sort of paging through this journal, that describes how they had their own basically like their version of like this miracle cure, that they were all going to be taking together as it was being prepared. And given that there are like there's an entry that says, "Tonight we take the miracle cure and we ascend." And when the world is wiped clean, we will be cleansed and prepared to emerge. And there are no further entries after that
Yep.
one. It's not hard to
Flipping
piece
through
together
it.
what happened.
Frankie literally says out loud, just like flipping through it and sees there's nothing else, and it's just like quacks. Relax. And just like walks off. Just like doesn't even keep. Just like throws the book like in a corner somewhere. Or takes
Yeah.
it for like kindling or firewood. This will make some good firewood.
It would.
Yeah.
But yeah, the I say we can cut over to. You do find an area that James sets up as like sort of a centrally located room that has several entrances that lead out to other parts of the bunker, where that James basically sets up as kind of like a command room, basically, as it's too small of a room to be used logistically for much. Although at this particular moment, until the rest of the bunker is, cleared and cleaned, this is basically where the survivors will be camping for the time being and sort of using as their base to clear the bunker. I'd say, as you guys are sort of looking over everything, Ronnie comes up and says, "Okay, well, there's not a whole lot of good news, but I'm willing to give you that first if you want it. Or I
Sure.
could start with a mountain of bad news, or we could have a bad news, good news sandwich."
Bad news, good news sandwich. Hit me.
All right, well, the bad news is that without power, we are going to be severely lacking in any kind of ventilation, which won't be the worst thing in the world for a little while. And then we'll have some serious problems with all sorts of things you would rather not be breathing building up. So that's that. The good news is everything here seems to be in working order or intact, just without power.
Mhm.
And I've saved the best for last, the worst bad news. I am currently unable to assess the state of the generator room, as I have not yet been able to reach the generator room due to a flooded corridor. It seems that a lot of the power to the generator is hydroelectric from the lakes and river systems nearby. Unfortunately, that also means that due to the proximity and perhaps some of the seismic activity in the last few years, there's a leak somewhere in one of the corridors, or perhaps just unfortunate rainwater or snow runoff, something, whatever it is. Corridor's flooded and I can't access the generator room. Which means the only way to reach it is, James just sort of sighs and says, "Someone's going to have to swim." Precisely. They're going to have to swim in the dark with who knows what might be down there.
All right.
Do we have any flashlights among us? Anything?
Headlamps. There's got to be
Waterproofed.
something in this bunker
They're probably...
or stuff like that.
James nods and says, "I haven't had a chance to go through the full inventory list, and we haven't really had much time to do full inventory, but I'll send some people, make it top priority."
Fucking glow
Yeah.
sticks, even.
Inventory list is probably where we need to start. How many days do we have for until the ventilation it gets bad for us for breathing?
Ronnie just sort of sits and kind of like makes mental calculations, just says, I'd say we have about... Well, it already wasn't a good situation when we got here. I'd say we have about 2 days, maybe 3 if we keep the doors open.
Okay. So we gotta swim fast. All right. And
What-
is the and just for clarification, is the entire room flooded? Like Subnautica, like it's completely like you gotta like snorkel in, or is it like
Water temple level?
It's
yeah,
yeah.
like
Ronnie just sort of says, I've been looking at the schematics of the bunker, the blueprints, and from what I can tell, the corridor to the generator room is lower than either the generator room or the entrance to the corridor, which means there's a very good possibility that since we're not experiencing flooding on this side, there's a good chance that the generator room has remained dry, or at the very least, not flooded.
okay. So it's like there's a hatch down and then a tube and
it's
then the
more
hatch
like
up.
There's stairs that go down into a corridor that leads to it's not just a corridor, there's other you can see on there that there's other maintenance access things down there, mostly to do with the hydroelectric, managing the hydroelectric power. And then there is the corridor continues up to another maintenance wing that includes the generator room as well as tools and stuff like that are specifically for the maintenance of the generators and the power in the area. So the generator room is mercifully higher than the rest of it, but it is
Alright.
yeah.
What skills are required for swimming?
Probably I would say
Mobility, endurance.
mobility or endure would be a good one too. Yeah.
Mobility probably for swimming, and then endure for holding your breath.
I'm not a bad
Well,
swimmer.
Casey's a decent swimmer.
If these corridors are big enough, we have a raft. We just put air in it when we bring it down there. Don't, pack it in nice and tight, bring it down there, then fill it with air. No, I don't think, unless we have to, maybe don't just jump in that water.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was fully filled up to the brim of the ceiling.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
If it's a lower level, then that raft
yeah,
isn't gonna.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now I get a much more terrifying picture in my head.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally just swimming through a tunnel.
Gotcha. Okay. Ooh, kind of cool though.
I could
We
try out the diving career I never wanted.
I mean,
I never
James
dreamed
in
of before now.
Is James in this circle thing
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
we could, if depending on how long it would take and how fast the leak, how much the leak is, we could see if we could lower the water level with buckets and drain it over a course of a few days and see how fast it rises. But that's requires manpower and
Seems like we only have a few days before ventilation becomes a problem.
true.
And we don't know what we're going to have to do to the generators to get them to work.
Swimming is the fastest way to do it, but
So we go through and we're just looking for the leak, or we're trying to fix it on the other side?
I think what we're trying to do is get the power running, and then once the power is running, we can assess the leak and fix whatever needs to be fixed down there.
Ronnie nods. He says, in a place like this, particularly one that is prone to flooding, there's probably some sort of pump system likely tied into the generator. If the generator is in good condition and we can get it active, the pumps should do the rest. It should pump out the flooded section. It's not the only one that we've come across, it's just the only one that is a priority at the moment. But it should, if we can get the generator running, it should not only get the pumps started, but also be the jump start that we need for the hydroelectric system. And then we hopefully won't need the generator much after that.
So
Somebody takes somebody who theoretically could get the generators running takes a quick swim.
Well,
he
we don't
sort of
have to have just one person swimming either.
I mean, a couple people should probably go. Like, it shouldn't be just one, but
No, never send just one.
I can make sure.
Unless
it's
you've
clear.
got some sort of weird ability, and I'm just gonna say it and leave it at that. Should never
I
just.
mean-
I'll make sure it's safe to swim across, and then
I'll go for the generators.
I'll come with you.
Okay, then it seems like we have a plan. Ron, you know how to get these things working? These generators working? Maybe you can give Casey a crash course. At least let her know what to look for. Ron nods and says, if the schematics for the generator room were followed, then look, you have to understand this is not my area of expertise. I don't really deal in mechanics, mostly in communications technology, but I can at least tell you how to assess whether or not it's working.
Yeah, give me the walkthrough. I mean, seen my fair share of, smaller generators over the last few years. It can't be too different.
Ron then just proceeds to give you kind of the basic breakdown.
Mhm.
All right, when you get down there, you want to look for this and this. Make sure that this is working. And if you flip these, then and it doesn't do anything, then it's probably broken, that kind of thing, right? It'll require more extensive repairs, that kind of thing.
Does the armory have any sort of fishing spears? Guessing a underwater spear gun is too much to ask for.
Oh, 100%. There's definitely not something like that.
Casey's just
sort
gonna
of
hand
fishing
her spear off to Gabby and be like,
Okay.
"You are going to be so much more useful with this in your hands than I am going to be down there." So
Well, I don't know shit about generators, so I'll watch your back while you
Got
work
you
the
covered.
magic. Yeah.
oh fuck, that's gonna be cold.
Yeah, we should do a supplies. We should make sure and do a full, at least as much of a full inventory as we can before you guys go, so that whatever resources we have, that'll keep you warm and give you as much light as possible.
Should we at least grab a couple of flashlights, Casey, and just go look? And
Yeah.
Just look at it.
Scratch
Gaze
up a
into the
couple of us
depths.
to have some blankets ready when we come back.
Of course. And you guys are going to do this now or rest? I highly recommend resting and then doing
Oh,
this
we're still
tomorrow.
on the same day. Yeah, maybe we rest first. I do want to talk to
As-
Kit before
as much as
going to
I-
sleep at some point.
As much as I enjoy the can-do attitude, we just fought a lot of zombies, and I would prefer us to get at least some semblance of a meal and rest before.
Yes, Mom. I kind of smile
I-
at you, though. Yes, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
I just want to take a look.
You can take a look. Do not go down there yet.
Mhm.
We gotta find some more stuff first, and blankets and stuff. But you can take a look if you want.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Casey
I'm
will
gonna
give just
start
kind of
looking around.
the side eye to Kit and then just nod.
So is the three of us going, or is it the two of you going? I'm going
Well,
too.
All right,
I'll just say
Casey,
that
Gabby, and
Frankie's
Kit.
gonna go and- Frankie's gonna go and do his own thing with somewhat doing inventory management, seeing stock of food and also weapons. He'll probably
Yeah.
be doing other stuff while you guys go to
Yeah.
creepy lagoon
I
land.
think Camilla is already on top of
Yes.
doing inventory of what is
Yeah.
in the bunker, and you find her with a clipboard just fully going over. She just tosses you an extra clipboard and just says, "You take that section," and just
All right, is there a crossbow anywhere around here? He just says with a smirk and.
she just
Casey
shrugs.
would
I haven't
kill
gotten to the armory yet.
Can we try and find a flashlight in this place before we head
Yeah,
down
I'm
to
gonna
the
say that's a
the
pretty
town?
easy thing to find. Like, almost certainly that's going to have been in here. So you can find some flashlights. Still working, even though you haven't found any batteries yet, but you have found working flashlights that thankfully don't seem to need them just yet. But yeah. So, Casey, Kit, and Gabby, you're going. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Scriv?
While Casey's looking for flashlights, because I don't think I want to do this in front of Casey necessarily, because I don't know how much Kit would want to keep secret. Because
don't
Kit
think
has
Casey
a
saw
lot
anything.
of secrets. I know, but Gabby has questions.
So Casey's fully like elbows deep in the inventory looking.
Where
for
are these
flashlights.
flashlights?
Yeah. Casey also, like, for anybody who has seen her since, like, they got down here, is distracted. Like, she's not really present.
I figured I would have to be the one to come talk to you first. You didn't seem interested in talking. Well, I've picked up you've talked to the others. At first I thought I would just wait until you felt ready. But, look, I don't know what happened. I know better than to pry right now. No matter how much I want to, you have your reasons for running when you saw us. As much as I want to, I'm not going to question that right now. Just know that I'm really happy to see you. Gabby's trying to be tough and not cry. I'm probably going to cry, but you know, separation of character and player. There are so many things I want to ask. But you know, this is like one of those crazy D&D mysteries that we used to get into, right? Where someone comes back, but they come back different. Whatever name you're choosing to go by now, just let me know, and that's what I'll say. That's what I'll use. It seems like you've already spoken to the others. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was discussed. I haven't spoken to them either, because I'm kind of afraid to. Because I don't know how I'm going to feel, and I don't know the full story. What I'll start with I think saying, how did you survive after you left is probably too big of a question right now. I know Casey's going to be back soon, but why the fuck did those zombies not attack you? I've never seen anything like it. Is that part of how you survived?
I don't know. Yes and no. I didn't realize it was happening until...
Don't get me wrong, I'm really glad they didn't. But the list of things I didn't know that I have questions for, it's huge now. And I know now's probably not the time, but before we go looking at this diving expedition site, I kind of wanted to ask you.
I wish I had answers for you. I really do. Because then I would understand a lot more too. But
Okay. We would have come back, you know. We couldn't get back to that city. If we had known. It didn't have to happen this way. But it did, and I don't think there's anything any of us can do about it now. Please don't run from us again. I want to be angry at you, but now look at me.
I spent 2 years convincing myself that you guys didn't care.
Well, that's stupid. Of course we fucking care. We mourned you every step of the way. We were still mourning you. We never stopped. Your family. We did all of
Had
that
to.
together. You had to because you thought you had no other choice. I get that. And you know what? I'm not going to be as angry as I used to be that you snuck away without telling us. Because we're probably alive thanks to you. I know how it feels to be left behind because you think you're doing the right thing. I was lucky that I was able to figure out that car. We had no idea that you were going to be able to survive that. But you're back now, right?
I didn't know I was going to survive either.
So the mystery continues, huh? I was never very good at the investigation checks.
I think at this point, a flashlight clicks on into your face, and Casey says, nope, and it really fucked over my whole, like, giant binder of lore that you sucked at them so much.
Casey!
Hi, I found a flashlight that works.
I hid out
dust.
in a Milton for
It's
a little
dust.
bit. They had a bunch of those books.
Wait, did you only take the time to read the player's handbook after the world ended?
I had nothing else.
You read the books?
They
I
made
mean,
me think of
Casey's
you
gonna
guys.
squeeze Kit's shoulder.
I fucked up. Turns out, Druid was not my thing.
Listen, I knew you were really into the whole power fantasy of it, but I didn't really have the heart to tell you at the time that it's the most mechanically complex class in the entirety of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
I think I should have been a rogue.
No
I think that'd suit
shit.
you pretty well. I mean, it's just like clickety clackety, do the stabbity. It's like I think Casey's I think begins walking us in the direction of the tunnel.
Yeah. And as you're walking and talking about this stuff, I think for
I
all
wanted-
of you,
Before we set off, I just wanted to kind of like... I'm not going to hug you if you don't want to be hugged, but I would really like to give you a hug right now, Kit.
Please.
I don't think I moved, but I think I let it happen.
It's the most awkward hug ever, but I'll take it. And it doesn't last very long. And then I just start walking too.
Casey's probably still just talking about D&D.
I think Before you walk away, I forgot that you would understand the most.
Well,
Thank you.
we're here now, yeah? And if we run together this time, I hope.
Yeah.
Good. All right. We got a rogue, got a barbarian. Do you have a DMPC ready for us, Casey?
I always played cleric. Like it
We're
was always
dungeon
cleric.
diving right now. Yeah?
I feel like as you kind of proceed to the flooded section of corridor, there's just the barest moment where like the three of you, for just a split second, feel like none of the last 3 years happened. Like you're just walking down the hallway at school, talking about D&D, and you hold on to that moment for as long as you can. I'm gonna go ahead and say that as you are approaching the flooded corridor, and as you do, you're kind of taking a look at it, the sort of the kind of dark, murky depths of this thing. You see the stairs descend into the water. There's maybe maybe 2 or 3. There's, I think, 3 stairs that are not submerged, and the rest of them continue down into the darkness, kind of disappearing at the bottom, even with the flashlight. The beam of light refracting off the surface of the water, sending sort of scattering reflections onto the walls of the corridor. But yeah, it looks pretty well flooded.
All right. I think because Casey looked at the schematics and saw about what the length of this hallway should be, but I think she wants to see what's under there now, and so I think she's going to tie her hair back, and then like click on the flashlight, and she's going to try and stick her head underwater and bring the flashlight under to see if she can shine at least a little bit down the hallway underwater.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough given the slant of the ceiling that sort of blocks a little bit. So in order to
I'll hold on to you so you don't fall in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine Casey's down on her hands and knees and a little help from Kit. And,
in order to get to a point where you could actually see anything down there, you'd have to get chest deep in the water. And so you go down to about that length. It is frigid. It is so uncomfortably cold that you have a hard time breathing for a moment.
She would have. I think she would have stripped some of her outer clothing so that doesn't all get wet here.
And
no, in my head, you just literally went in head first.
Yeah, just slowly walked into the water.
Yeah. When you get to about that point, you take a moment, take a deep breath, and dip your head underwater and shine the flashlight, kind of just crouching underwater on the stairs and shining down. I'm trying to think of. I think, honestly, I feel like this is probably a scout roll, Casey. I think, and you get a gear bonus from the flashlight. You get a 1.
Okay, sweet.
Can I assist? Can I hold the flashlight steady or something, or hold another one?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
All right. That is a single success.
Cool. Then... Oh, hold on. There's one thing I want to look up real quick, because I just want to make sure... Just double-checking something here. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. Just making sure that I made you use the right skill. Just to make... cool. So, yeah, looking down the corridor down below, you can see just a bunch of. It's eerie because you can see debris and like things that are like furniture or just sundries that were kept on shelves or whatever that are just sort of floating in the water, just almost suspended in the water, and as well as uh, just scattered items that must have fallen either because of the passage of the dead or possibly even just whatever caused the flood. But as you look through, you get the glimpse. I'd say it's probably about a 50-foot corridor from the bottom of the stairs to the other side, and you can just kind of barely see the stairs on the other side with the flashlight. To either side, you can see the doors that lead off to other rooms. They're all open. None of them are sealed. As you're looking, Casey, with one success, I will tell you that you kind of get a good idea of the layout, and it'll be stressful, but you can make it pretty well. Sorry, did I say Sorry, I'm going back in my head and I'm realizing that 50 feet probably wouldn't be enough length of corridor to have multiple rooms, so it actually probably would be longer than that. But yeah, I'd say that it's pretty symmetrical. There's 2 rooms on either side, so I'd say that it's probably closer to like 80 feet or so, which means you probably cannot see the other side of it. You just know that that's the length of the corridor just from looking at the schematics.
But there's no, like, she can't see an obstruction as far as the flashlight, like, as far as the beam of light goes.
Yeah, no. You don't see anything as far as you can see down here.
Okay.
As you turn to surface, as you go to surface, you do catch something move quickly in the water. It's large.
That's
But it, like, not large as in, but it's not a fish. If it is, it's a really big one, and you have no idea how it got down here.
We're not supposed to have zombie fish, like zombie animals.
But
I
you
thought.
don't. All you catch is just like the movement of a shadow. That's it.
okay.
Just literally going across, just outside of kind of like the effective range of the flashlight. You see it going across from one side of the corridor into one of the rooms.
Okay. I think she's freezing by this point, and is going to come back up out of the water. And we'll, like, get whatever moisture.
Warn us before you dive in like that.
I told you what I was gonna do, but like.
You should have got a jacket or something, and just like toss it over your head.
Yeah, she's like teeth chattering, shivering. It's a long corridor, but I think we can swim it. It should be fine, and there's nothing, like, as far as the flashlight could illuminate, there's nothing down there that's like blocking the corridor off.
Okay, so it seems pretty clear, huh?
More or less. I didn't see any. I know they can be in water sometimes because they don't need to breathe. I didn't see any in the main hallway. I didn't see any of them down here. Yeah, I maybe saw something, but it could have moved, but it was like fast, and it could have just been the light from the flashlight when I was turning.
How big was it?
Bigger than a fish. Smaller than a
Moving
person.
Fast?
It looked like from one room to another, but again, it might have just been the flashlight too. I don't know. We've never seen anything in the water, right? Apart from, really the pruny kind of ones, right?
No, but I've
We
seen
got, like-
fast ones.
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen them.
oh yeah.
I've heard about them.
You would have also seen some too in Springview. You saw some when you were running for the helicopter.
Mm-hmm. I remember a few.
Okay. right. Might need to be careful about how we go about this then.
Maybe post a guard down here.
Don't want
At
to
least
There's
in-
something in the
zombie
water.
fish.
We should probably lure it out before we go in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time
What do
to go
zombie fish
fishing?
like to eat?
People.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Casey's gonna.
Maybe
I
there's
think-
something we can use as like a lure. Anyone been fishing before? Hell of a time to learn. Okay.
John, what were you saying?
Casey's gonna head back
Maybe
to
not
the.
tonight.
Casey's gonna head back to the command post to relay that to Maisel, and shows up like drenched.
With my now also drenched jacket around you. Gonna charge you for dry cleaning, Casey.
Frank,
Yeah,
do we
cool.
have
You want to
blankets?
just send it down the street?
Yeah.
Probably.
I hear
Yeah.
the guys down the road do some really fantastic starching for those raider uniforms they've got. You know.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that Frankie could get his hands on some blankets and bring them up to Casey. James is just sort of like runs his hand through his hair, in frustration. Says, "Can't seem to get ahead on this one. There's always something."
Always.
Yeah. Again, I didn't get a good look at it. I want to believe that it's just the light or something, but there's probably something down there.
It's never just the light.
If we could get our hands on maybe some, I think he kind of like looks around for the inventory sheets that he does currently have, incomplete, of course. I think I saw something about some water flares or something like that in the inventory. Maybe
That would
use
be
that
great.
to draw it out. If it's some swimming version of one of these things, that should draw it.
Yeah. Noise and loud movement. If that doesn't fail, hopefully enough light. But
We should post a couple of guards, at the exit there, and do all of those. Casey's going to look over the schematics, and is there any way out of the generator room in terms of like maintenance access that like is like even small person size that something could like wriggle through? She just wants to make sure that this thing doesn't have access to the rest of the
Yeah.
bunker.
Looking at the schematics, it looks like the only thing is like the ventilation system. But it wouldn't. Yeah.
Unlikely it's going to fit in there.
Right. I mean, it could, depending on the actual size of whatever it is, but it's more a question of, is this a thing that can be outside of water?
Mhm.
Hard to say.
we don't know.
Also, the access to like ventilation is not impossible to get into, but it'd be difficult without either tools or like the appropriate access. So
Yeah. I'll let Hall know and have Hall appoint a guard to that hallway.
that sounds good.
Just to
All right, we got our work cut out for us, I guess.
certainly
I'm-
seems that way.
I'm gonna go. I'm supervising the cleanup, helping out with getting the bodies out.
Yeah. Sounds good. How do we are we like is the plan for like all of the pile of zombies out front to like move those, or are we leaving those for now?
For now there isn't a plan about those just
Cool.
yet. It's more about
Cool.
like cleaning out the ones that are inside, either that your group killed when they were clearing, or the ones that died before.
Sure. Sure.
So, yeah, there are a
Okay.
couple of rooms that you've seen that are pretty rank.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Some Febreze.
I'll leave the cleaning to you. I'll appoint guards and get sleeping quarters arranged.
All right, sounds like a plan. I will say at this point, as James is about to leave, you hear running footsteps as Shaw comes running into the room. He says, "We've got a big problem. What are the
Another
chances
one?
that the generators are fully online and ready to go, and we can lock this shit down?"
Not
Casey
good.
is
Why?
Casey is standing like holding a blanket around herself, shivering. Bad?
Not. Are more coming?
I wish. No. The assholes from Solita, they followed us.
Fuck.
I almost didn't notice them, but I went back to camp to start salvaging things, maybe put the battery back in the truck, and I didn't even get close. They're there, and they know where we are.
They're at the camp already. Shit.
God damn it. All right. Well,
I guess I'm taking a swim, huh?
grab Hall, get those flares, post up. Let's close the front door and barricade as best we can. And be ready
Okay.
for anything, I guess.
I'll go
Ron,
take stock of the weapons real quick then, if you
Thank
don't
you.
mind,
Yeah.
Maisel. All right.
Ron
Go.
just says, "I would like to remind everyone that without the electronic locks, without the generators running, the electronic locks will not function, and we effectively have no means of sealing the front door."
Can't just manually close it.
You can manually
Like,
close it, but it can be manually opened.
Right, that's why I'm saying we manually close it, and like you do with a
Barricade.
home invasion, you put a bunch of stuff in front of it, and on top of
Or-
it or around it.
Actually, sorry, I realized that's actually probably not true, because we sort of have established that whatever position the lock is in when it loses power is the position it stays in. So yeah, there is like an emergency release for that from the inside, but not a means of
Emergency
locking it.
close.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is there a way with the car battery? We don't have that anymore. Fuck. We don't have that anymore, because he didn't get there to put it in the truck, to put it back in the truck.
Shaw kind of like looks down at the ground sheepishly, says, I dropped it. I just ran. I needed to come back. I need to get back as fast as possible. Hard to do with a car
A
battery in
whole
your
a whole
backpack.
prepper bunker, and they don't have some sort of like small generators backup things in here that we can use.
Ronnie says, well, they do. They're just currently stored underwater.
God,
All of them? Fucking idiots. Okay. All right.
Guess we're
Shaw,
taking
get
a
as many
swim.
get as many people as you can to try and barricade the front and wait.
Well,
We'll
if they-
try to get.
If they try to rush the entrance, they're in for a hell of a fight. But
Good.
it's then again, so are we. But we have the advantage of a choke point, so
yeah,
Yeah.
they would have to file in here. They can't rush us. They can't ambush us. It's better that this is happening with us in here than out there.
yeah.
No, but they can wait for us to suffocate.
Well, the door's open, so we can't suffocate.
Door can't stay open for long.
Okay. Shaw, get as many
Yep.
people as you can to barricade the front. If disgustingly, if we can use the dead as a wall that is our best bet for now. And then Casey, Gabby, Kit, go get Hall and Kai to come with you to the thing, and then get the flares to lure them out, and hopefully Hall and Gabby and maybe a few others can kill whatever's in there, and we can get the generator up and running. I'll do my best to let everybody else know in the camp that's going on.
Okay.
All right. Shaw looks at you, Frank. He says, "I'm gonna need you with me at the entrance."
Oh, okay.
I'll go tell Camilla that we need weapons now.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Casey, Gabby, Kit, you collect Hall and Kai as you make your way back to the flooded section. Hall kind of looks down into it and just says, "Well, no offense, I'm glad it's not me."
Thanks for the support, Hall.
Happy to help.
I laugh like that. I can't help but to laugh. Just
Yeah, I suppose then Casey's gonna grab one of the flares, and she's just gonna look back at Hall and Gabby, and then
All right.
she'll go under.
Gabby, Kit, you're going as well?
do we have a rope
yeah.
that we can tie to you just to pull you
Yeah.
back? We have
I
to.
think it's totally fair
I'm,
that
I'm gonna go in too.
Yeah, I think it's totally
You
fair
are
that
too?
that Hall and Kai would have, like, you'd have a line for sure.
Okay.
I
so
think
you-
I kind of suspiciously eye these people that I
Mhm.
don't know, and then I see Casey like getting ready to go in, and I'm like, I don't have fucking time. I take off my jacket and flannel.
we'll have blankets ready.
What are you wearing under the flannel, Kit?
I think just like a tank top.
No.
Which means then that you guys can see very clearly, and like
Oh.
Hall like just lets out a shit. Like, but you can see there's a bite mark on Kit's forearm, and also on her left shoulder.
Fuck.
There's also
That wasn't there before.
Nope. There are, if you recall, Kit.
Are they
when-
old bite marks?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're scarred over.
Yeah.
If you recall, the time when you know Kit was bitten was on the
Mhm.
ankle.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, it was on the calf. I know, I
this
drew
is
it.
new.
you also
Okay.
see. I will say you also see a series of other, like, just more standard, like, scars and lacerations, things like similar to ones that you yourselves sport from various adventures in the
I think-
apocalypse.
I think they would also notice that there's like burn scars around the bite marks in particular. I tried to hide them.
Yeah. I think probably also, I think it's fair to say there's probably also, like, which you would notice just barely as, like, Kit is, like, and like pulling off the flannel, and, like, tank top comes up a little bit, you'd notice a scarred over, like, bullet wound in, like, the side. But yeah. But yeah.
It's like this was like an Oliver Queen moment. I love it. Just like a
Yeah.
battle scar montage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gonna add that to the list of things I've filed away.
I think like Kit would
Shit.
catch like a like a sympathetic look from Casey, and she'd just nod.
Oh,
Ready?
What are you waiting for?
All right.
And
Same energy.
With that, you begin wading into the depths of the corridor. Underwater, the water is as frigid as you recall. It is oppressive, more so in the claustrophobic darkness of this corridor. As you swim ahead, you can see what you weren't able to see before from the stairs, Casey, where there are places where appears to already be like plant growth, algae and things like that are already starting to grow up. So this has been flooded for a while, long enough that this could be happening. There are places where you can see that underwater reeds and things like that have kind of grown up through cracks in the concrete, in some, like just in little patches and corners here and there. As you continue swimming, Casey, you sort of moving the flashlight from side to side, you move it, and as you pan it across, swimming through, you see a patch of reeds, and as you pass by, suddenly you're face to face with a skull. It is. So here's what I want all the three of you to do. I want you to roll an endure for me.
Oh God.
okay.
Oh, all three of us. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
What's my endure looking like? And I still have a stress.
That's 2 successes.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. What am I looking at? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Remember that you can add drives if you have not already.
Two successes.
Would higher purpose be like I have to get through this. I have to push through.
I think
Okay.
so. I can see that for sure.
All right. I will add my drive to this, and I'm going to push that roll because I didn't get any successes.
Okay. So add another
But no
stress.
failures.
Add another stress and your 2 additional dice from your drive.
Okay, 2 successes, no mess ups. Actually, I didn't roll below 5.
Nice.
Good.
All right.
That's a good
so,
roll.
Casey, startled as you are by this, you manage to keep your breath. As you look, there is just a fully decomposed corpse, just sort of floating in the water, tangled in the reeds. You can see that they are wearing some sort of mechanic's jumpsuit, which itself is tattered, and you can see the blood stain down the front of it. You can also see what is very clearly a bullet hole in the skull.
Ooh. That's interesting. She's going to keep swimming, but we're gonna file that information away.
All right.
Because it's a long hallway and she has only so much breath.
Yeah. You continue on swimming through this hallway, tensely waiting for something to go wrong. But Casey, you before long, although it feels like forever, you feel your head breach the surface of the water on the other side as you rise up the stairs. As you continue in, you see that you are in, again, emergency lighting. You're in a short hallway that kind of cuts across the stairs. On both sides you see doors that are labeled storage, and the door directly in front of you is labeled generator.
Okay. Casey, like, teeth chattering, is be like, the one from the Reeds had a bullet. Took a bullet to the head. I don't know what that means or if there's anybody over here. But just keep an eye out, yeah?
I'm gonna nod and pull my knife out.
Okay.
It's like a
And then
long
she's-
hunting knife.
Wait, are you talking underwater?
No,
Okay,
this is
No, we made it out the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
as you
We still have the rope. It's a really
Yeah.
long rope.
Casey goes first one out of the water. Who's after Casey? Kit.
Me.
All right. Yeah, Kit, you climb up after Gabby. You begin climbing out of the water after Kit, and then you feel something grab your ankle.
Mother. Did I bring the spear with me?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure I did. Okay.
Okay. What would you like to do, Gabby?
Well, before I'm pulled back under, you're gonna hear me say, "What the?" And I go back under.
Yeah, there's like a splash of water. You turn around to see Gabby disappear into the depths.
Yeah.
Um,
My first instinct is going to kick whatever is there off as I try to twist around and see. And
okay.
so I guess what is this? Close combat?
Yeah, give me close
Or
combat
mobility
roll.
or something? Okay.
Can Casey assist by
Better just be a
throwing the
reed.
flare into the water?
Oh, that would be good.
Sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
5, 6. Stress. Okay. I already used my drive. Does a spear have any equipment?
It's a gear bonus 1 or 2. It's 2. Never mind.
Yeah.
2?
Your bonus.
Sick. Okay. Come on. I got 1 success.
Okay.
No failure.
Cool. You kick out and you can feel your foot connect with something solid, and just sort of blindly you sort of stab out with the spear in the general direction that you see, and you feel the spear connect with something as well. All of a sudden the water around you goes bright red as the flare that Casey threw in just sort of comes to life, illuminating the thing. And what you see in front of you, Gabby, just for the briefest of moments before it retreats back into the darkness, you see a humanoid figure with arms that are way too long, and a jaw that seems to open way too wide. Milky,
No.
sort of silvery eyes. As you kind of push away from it, it swims away into the darkness, just getting the briefest of glimpse of this sort of pale skin. You kick your way back out to the stairs to the surface, and kind of to where Casey and Kit are waiting as they pull you up, dragging you out of the water.
Are you okay? Like, Casey is immediately checking for any, like, scratches, bites.
I fought it off. That was
Still
some
in there,
creepy
though.
shit. I don't know if it's a zombie, some sort of weird mutation thing. It looked like it wasn't a fish. I didn't see fins, right?
Nope,
It,
no
it
fins.
wasn't. It wasn't a fish, but it was all like deep sea creature-ish, pale skin, really long arms, fucking maw, sea monster teeth. That's all I
one to add to the
saw.
list.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
but it's I think the luring part worked. I don't know where it is now though. It went back in. Thank God you threw that flare. Thanks for pulling me
Yeah.
out.
I mean,
But I think I got it once.
here's hoping.
I'm gonna look to see if there's any like blood or residue on my spear.
There's sort of like a brackish dark liquid on the end of your spear. Yeah.
Okay. It can bleed.
I'm
and
gonna say,
move really fast.
I'm gonna say for the sake of time here, what I'm gonna say is that you all kind of take a moment to collect yourselves and refocus on the task. And Casey, I want you to give me a tech roll.
Can we count? I'll bargain with the DM here for a minute. Can we count Ron's earlier walking through the schematics with me as an assist die on this?
Sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. All right. All right.
And if you really want to be additionally pedantic, you can technically say the flashlight is helping you with a gear bonus. Because, like, you've got to be able to see what you're doing, right?
Right, it's true. It's true. All right, I will take a gear bonus then. It's a good news, bad news sort of situation.
Okay, great.
The good news is that I got 2 successes. The bad news is that I rolled a 1 on one of my stress die.
Cool. So, this is, I think, how this shakes out at this point, where with you, Casey, looking at this generator and just sort of checking it over to make sure it's okay. And what I think I'm gonna say is that you can get it to run, but just given the little bit that you know about this generator, it has sustained some damage, and you know that this is the one and only time that you will get this thing started, which means that after this, if anything cuts out the power to the bunker again without replacing this generator in some way, you're not going to be able to restart it. Which means that you are entirely reliant on the hydroelectric turbines.
Okay.
Which again, potentially a near infinite supply of power. But if anything causes you to lose power, then you're cooked, basically, unless you replace this generator.
Okay. I think Casey will relay that. She'll be like, yeah, this is going to work exactly one time. So we better hope the hydroelectric works until we can replace this. And then she's just going to, like, if there's like a cord or she'll prime the generator and then flip the switch or like rip whatever cord she's got to get it started.
With a thunderous rumbling, the generator comes to life, and all of a sudden you just see lights just and immediately you can hear the of pumps starting to work, and the water level begins slowly but visibly noticeably draining.
I want to watch the water with my knife in my hand, like ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, spear ready.
Okay. Yeah, you watch it, and as it waiting for it to drain, on the other side of the bunker, you all see like lights coming on, and like the sound of the ventilation system. You can hear the fans starting to. And Frankie, you standing with Shaw at the entrance, like both holding weapons at the ready. You see the little green light above the door just click on. As Shaw looks at you and goes, "Shit!" and reaches, like, drops his gun and reaches for the door and just pulls it closed. You can hear the electric locks engage as Shaw looks at you. Whew. Maybe it's time to go get Ron and change the fucking passcode.
Yeah, yep, you're right.
Oh my god. I almost forgot about that
Zero,
passcode.
0, 0, 0, 5.
Cultists have the worst security.
All right.
Alright. Main
their
mission
defense, I think
succeeded. Where's
Shaw-
this fish thing?
Out loud, I think Shaw says to Frankie, he says, "Look, in their defense, they didn't think there was going to be anybody outside to try to come in, so."
True, I suppose.
All right. Gabby and Kit, you're just sort of standing at the stairs waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And waiting. And waiting. as the water level continues to lower and lower and lower, you just sort of wait. And then suddenly you see movement as this thing just comes bounding on all fours out of the darkness and leaps at you. I would like
shit.
for
It's
the two
amphibious.
of you, the two of you to make whatever roll you would like to make in this situation.
I'll do close combat and try to either intercept or like knock it off of its trajectory.
Okay.
Panic. Adrenaline fueled strength,
Ah.
hopefully.
Casey is just standing behind both of them, like shivering and pointing the flashlight at the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna curse loudly when I do this. Oh, one fell out, but it was a 5, so it doesn't matter. I got 3 6s. Stress die is a 2.
Holy shit.
I can show my camera for evidence if
Honestly,
you want.
I think the way that I'm gonna rule this is that, like, Kit, you go to try to,
No!
like, help, but Gabby moves way
Yeah.
faster than you, as Gabby just immediately just, like, leaps into action. Like, as this thing comes forward, like, runs at you, your instinct is to step back, but Gabby does the opposite and just steps into it and just spear point out, just thrust right through the center of the forehead, just sort of splitting this thing's face down the middle, as it's, like, its momentum carries it past the spear point onto the shaft a little bit, and it just sort of hangs there, Gabby, as the spear pokes all the way through.
So I started screaming when I initiated, and I'm probably still screaming even though it's just hanging there like a fish.
Yeah.
I think I just kind of put my hand on your shoulder.
I drop the spear and step away from it.
You hear running footsteps and like splashing in the corridor, and you see, like, you just are able to catch sight of Hall, like, looking up. Just, everyone okay?
I puke. I go to the side and just.
Hall just goes, I'll take that as a yes, and just turns around and starts kind of going back the other way.
It's probably just gonna be bile. We didn't even really have time to eat since the
Yeah.
attack either. Just,
Yeah.
It's just bad. Sorry.
It's okay. It already stinks down here.
So then I'm gonna say this, as we are basically right here at the end of our session. what I think the case is that you all over the next little bit, you're able to check the flooded sections once they empty out, and make a point that there's none of these things anywhere else. In fact, you're not really even sure if this one that was down here got in from some other way, or if it just sort of wandered down here and never left. You really don't know. You don't find any ways that it could have come in. And checking the other flooded sections, you don't find any others down there. Other than in one of them, just like a regular zombie that is just tangled up in like cables and stuff like that can't really move, that gets dealt with quickly. That said, the threat on your doorstep really only escalates to the point where they reach the doors. They spend some time camped out outside, but after a while, it's determined that they're not going to be able to get in. And from your scouts' reports, they and sort of like a camera mounted on the outside of the bunker, you're able to kind of watch them as they make their decisions, and eventually they decide to back off and they leave. It is far from your last encounter with them, but at the very least, for the time being, you've won. You've found the bunker. You have shelter. You have a place where, in the coming months, the harsh approaching winter, you, your friends, fellow survivors, will be safe. And I think that's where we're going to stop. So this is kind of our mid-season finale here. So
Already?
yeah, already. This is kind of our last session before we take a sort of extended break for holidays and things like that. Yeah, you will see us again. If you want to know specific dates when things are happening, like when we're coming back and all that sort of stuff, tune into Ramblemancy. But yeah, so we will see you all. Thank you so much for coming and enjoying the story with us. We'll see you all likely in the new year. So, thank you so much, everybody, and we'll continue to see you on Ramblemancy until the aforementioned breaks. So, thanks everybody.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
We will see you in the new year or on Ramblemancy, but if not, we'll see you the next time you decide to come roll with us. Good night and good zone.